Good morning, my dear students. It's nice to be with you for our lesson today. Today, inshallah, we will talk about our lesson imaginary and complex number. Again, imaginary and complex number. But from the previous year, let's remember that I have the kind of sets of numbers, irrational, real numbers in middle 3. So let's remember how I can find the solution set of the x power 2 minus 9 equal 0. How I can find the solution set in real number. Yes, the first step, transpose to the other side with opposite side. X power 2 equal 9. Take square root to the other. X equal square root to 9. I have x to the power 2 minus 9 equals 0. Transpose to the other side with opposite sign. I have x to the power 2 equal 9. X to the power 2, yes. I want to take square root to the other side, but don't forget positive and negative. Yes, excellent. Positive and negative. So x equal 2 roots, positive and negative what? 3. So solution set in real number 3 and negative 3. Yes. This is about the previous year. But in this year, I have x power 2 plus 9 equals 0. How I can find the value of x, the solution set? In real number, the solution set is 5 because it has no meaning. Yes, but by using the same steps, from the previous example, I have x power 2 equal negative 9. How? I have a problem here because I don't have any square root to any negative number. Again, I have a big problem because I don't have any square root to any negative number. So, complete. X to the power 2, yes, take square root to the other, x equal positive and negative square root to negative 9. How I can? I can't find the square root to any negative number. This is the previous year, but now I can find it. How? What is the problem here? Negative or 9? Yes, excellent. I'll listen to you. Negative is a problem. So, positive or negative, square root 9 times negative 1. Negative 9 means 9 times negative 1. So, positive and negative, square root to 9 what? 3 times square root to negative 1. This is our problem. I have a problem, square root to negative 1. I don't have any square root to negative any number. So imagine with me, square root to negative 1 is denoted by the symbol I. The symbol what? The symbol I. Yes, imagine with me, square root to negative 1 equal what? Is denoted by I. This is our symbol. This is our hero. So I have I, imaginary number, equal square root to negative 1. Yes. What about I to the power 2? I to the power 2. Yes, power 2 cancel square root. So I have I to the power 2 equal what? Equal negative 1. What about I to the power 3? So I to the power 3 means I to the power 2 times I to the power 1. Revision with me exponent. So I have I to the power 2 equal negative 1 times I equal negative I. So I equal square root to negative 1. I to the power 2 equal negative 1. I to the power 3 equal negative I. What about I to the power 4? I to the power 4 equal I to the power 2 times I to the power 2. So negative 1 times negative 1 equal 1. So I have I to the power 4 equal 1. I have I to the power 4 equal 1. What about I to the power 8 equal 1? Also equal 1. What about I to the power 12 equal 1. I to the power any number divisible by 4 equal 1. Again, I to the power any number divisible by 4 or multiple of 4 equal 1. What about I to the power 5? Yes, divided it. I to the power 4 times I. I to the power 4 1 times I equal I. Yes, excellent. So, what about I to the power 1004? 1004 equal 1 because I have the power multiple of 4. I have the power divisible by 4. So, I to the power any number divisible by 4 equal 1. What about I to the power 4n plus 3? I have here I to the power 4n plus 3 divided it. I to the power 4n times I to the power 3. I have the power divisible by 4, so the result of I to the power 4n equal 1 times I to the power 3 equal negative I. What about in this example? In this example, it's very important. What about it? I to the power negative 25. Oh, it's very difficult. No, not difficult. Time is 1. Time is what? Time is 1. So, I to the power negative 25 times. Yes, I want to put here I to the power number. I to the power number divisible by 4, but this number bigger than 25. This number bigger than 25. So, I to the power 28. So, I and add the exponent negative 25 plus 28 equals 3. I to the power 3 equal negative I. Now let's move to the next point. Now let's talk about what the meaning of complex number. What the meaning of complex number? Write A plus PI. The complex number consists of two parts. The first part is real number and second part imaginary number. Again, I have in the first part real number, the second part imaginary number. So any number like A plus PI, complex number consists of two parts, real number, the first real number and the other is imaginary. For example, 3 plus 2i like 5 minus 3i and 7 minus 7i. This is example for complex number. Now let's move to talk about the equality of two complex number. Yes. How I can find the value of the unknown about the equality of two complex number? I have in this lesson, in this example, I have 3x minus 1 plus 5yi equal 8 minus 15i. This complex number and the other complex number. I have two complex number. What is the real? In the first complex, this real number and this real. So by equality is the real equal real and imaginary equal imaginary. Real equal real. 3x minus 1 equal 8 and imaginary equal imaginary. 5y equal negative 15. So transpose 3x equal 8 plus 1 equal 9 divided 3x equal what? Equal 3. Our example, find the value of x and y. Find the value of x and y. I have two complex number and I have equality of two complex numbers, so real equal real, imaginary equal imaginary, to arrive to find the value of x and y. And 5y equal a negative 15, divided 5 to the other, y equal negative 3. Another example, I have 3x plus 5y minus 1i equal 14i. 14 what? 14i. The first complex number, I have the real number, real, and this coefficient of I, this is what imaginary, imaginary. In the other side, I have 14i, imaginary. What is the real? Real equals 0. Real equal 0. So 3x, the real in the first complex number equal real. In the other equal 0. So x equal 0. But imaginary in the first complex equal imaginary in the other complex. 5y minus 1 equal what? Equal 14. Transpose to 1. 5y equal 14 plus 1 equal 15. Divided 5 on the other, y equal 3. This is about equality of two complex number. Now let's move to the next point. Now let's move to talk about the operation about a complex number. If I have the first example, I have 7 minus 4i plus 2 plus I. The coefficient of I here 1. What? 1. I want to add these two complex numbers, so add the like term. Like term, I have 7 minus 4i plus 2 plus 1i. Yes. What about like term? I have 7 plus 2. I have 7 plus 2 equal 9. And with calculator, by using calculator, 7 plus 2 by using calculator. 7 plus 2 equal 9. Negative 4i plus 1i equal negative 3i. So I have the result what? 9 minus 3i. Again, I have 7 minus 4i plus 2 plus 1i. Add the like term, the absolute term 7 and 2. And then I have the coefficient of I negative 4 and the coefficient of I positive 1. So 7 plus 2 equal 9. Negative 4 plus 1 equal negative 3 with the last result. In number 2 I have 2 plus 3i to the power 2. From middle 1 I have the bracket to the power 2. How I can find the solve of this bracket? The first time is itself. The first time is itself. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. And put the sign of the middle. Put the sign of middle, positive. The first times second times power 2. First times second times power 2. 2 times 3, 6. Times 2, 12i. And the last term usually positive. Usually what? Positive. Second time is itself. 3i times 3i, 3i times 3i, 9i power 2. Yes. From the introduction of measuring in this session, I have 4 plus 12i plus 9. I have I power 2 equal negative 1. So 4 plus 12i minus 9. So by calculator, 4 and minus 9 equal negative 5 plus 12i. In the third equation I have 2 plus 3i times, I have two brackets. I have what? I have two brackets from middle one. How I can solve these two brackets and multiply? 2, just multiply the other. 2 times 1, 2. Plus 2 times positive 2i, 4i. Yes. The second 3i multiply 1 and multiply 2i. 3i multiply 1, 3i. 3i times positive 2i, 6i power 2. And add 2 and positive 4 and 3, 7i. And cancel I power 2 the same as the same. I power 2 equal negative, so cancel I power 2 and would inverse the sign. Cancel I power 2 and inverse sign, negative 6. Negative what? Negative 6. So cancel I power 2, I to the power 2, and put the opposite of sign. 2 plus 7i minus 6. So 2 minus 6, negative 4 plus 7i. The last question. I have here 5 minus 3i times 5 plus 3i. These two brackets are called conjugate. Conjugate number. Conjugate number. Conjugate number. The first as the first, the second as the second, but the inverse sign. I have inverse sign. I have the opposite sign here. So how I can solve it? First times first, 5 times 5 equal what? 25 minus second times second, 9i power 2. So 25. Cancel I power 2 plus 9 equal what? Equal 34. That's all for this session, and thank you for your time.